In this video, I'll consider the question, when should you hand over your project deliverables? When should you hand over your project deliverables? When they're done. It's the obvious answer. But there's more to it than that. Or this would be a very short video. Conceptually, handover marks the boundary between the delivery stage of your project and the close stage. We finish delivering, we hand over, and then we close our project down. But of course there is more to it than that, and in the real world we often have projects with a series of handovers. There is no one big handover of everything, although sometimes there is. Sometimes there is a big go-live event where we hand over the product or the service or the process that we've created into beneficial use. Obvious examples of multiple handovers, however, are methodologies or frameworks like Scrum. In Scrum, we have 2-week iterations or sprints, and at the end of each is a sprint review where the users will review the product or the asset that's been created, and then the development team will hand it over to them into beneficial use or into production. So, project handover is the passing of products from the project into beneficial use and routine maintenance. In this video, I'm going to divide the handover process into 6 stages. Stage 1 is preparing for handover. Both the project team and the operational team that will receive handover need to conduct reviews. The project team needs to conduct a review of the products, of the processes, of the services it's created to make sure that they are indeed ready for handover. The operational team, at the same time, needs to conduct a review of its operations and to look at any pilot prototypes or documentation that the project team prepares to make sure that it is ready to receive the products or processes or systems that the project has produced. To do this, the operational team will often need to rehearse in a period of shadow operation to make sure it's ready and prepared to receive the products. This period may also include training, and it's important that the operational team doesn't just try to cram as much training as it can into lunch hours, but to allow proper time for considered training for everyone in the operational team to feel completely ready and skilled and trained and mentally prepared to receive the new assets. This is not just about a technical familiarity. It's also about feeling comfortable and confident to take on the new ways of working. In many contexts, this is also the period of the final user acceptance testing. Before the handover, there is often a final readiness review, so I'm going to call that Stage 2. When both the project team and the operational team consider they are ready for handover, there may be a short period of working with the product within the operational team as if. This is a last chance for a final evaluation to prepare for final handover. What's different between this and Stage 1 is that Stage 2, the readiness review, is a period of joint working between the project and operational teams to iron out the last wrinkles in the product and its operation. Don't try to shortcut this period though. It's the last opportunity to catch the final issues which could pose significant operational risks to the organisation if you didn't find them. It's during this period that we might expect to see the final formal checks, for example, gateway or stage gate reviews if the organisation uses them. As I've suggested, the equivalent for this in Scrum is the sprint review. If there is a formal review, let's call that Stage 3. And some of the checks that are likely to happen in Stage 3 include final testing and checking of confirmations or test certificates to make sure they are all complete in a proper way. These might include measures of performance, quality, and reliability, what we might call fitness for purpose. There may be a formal quality control sign-off, and there might be a final risk review looking at outstanding risks and issues. You may also prepare a final snagging list. These are small issues and problems which are not an impediment to handover, but which will need to be addressed during otherwise routine maintenance, once the assets or products or processes are in full operational use. There may also be a formal confirmation that the business is ready to accept the new product, and if it is, there may be a need for training certificates to demonstrate that individuals are properly prepared. And finally, there needs to be a check on the go-live and fallback planning to make sure that we're ready for the day in which we trigger the transition from the old way of doing things to the new way of doing things, and that we have all of the contingencies in place in case something goes wrong, so that as a minimum we can stabilise the situation quickly and, if necessary, roll back to something that we know works. So that leads us forth to the sign-off itself. This is the formal acceptance of the handover and of the documentation that goes with it. Fundamentally, this creates a transfer of ownership and responsibility from the project team to the operational team, and indeed from the project manager to the operational manager. All this is likely to be accompanied by a range of project documentation. The next stage is a transition into full operational use and benefits realization. This is where the operational team gets used to using the new products, the new services, the new processes. There may be some tweaking of operational processes and procedures, enhanced user support or customer care, a higher level of planned and possibly reactive maintenance, and a constant review for continuous improvement of processes and continuous upgrade of products. Finally, my stage 6 is full operational status. Now, the operational team has settled into routine use of the product, the asset, or the process. The only remaining obligations for the project team are, firstly, to set up the benefits realization monitoring and control process, to set up a benefits realization or outcomes review for anywhere between 3 and 18 months after handover, a process whereby we can monitor the benefits as they're being realized and meet to discuss what's happening and to figure out how to put right any lack of benefits being materialized. And secondly, the last thing for a project team to do is an orderly close down of the project, to remove the project infrastructure, to release the project team, and to celebrate the success of the project. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be creating loads more great project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of them. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.